The following is a lecture on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 6, text number 18, given by Shriman KratuDas Adhikari, recorded on August 20th, 2012 in Lindva, Slovenia.
When Viniyatam, particularly disciplined, Chittam, the mind and its activities, Atmani, in the transcendence, Eva, certainly, Avatispruste, becomes situated, Nispruha, the word of desire, Sarvakamebhyo, for all kinds of material sense gratification. Yukta, well situated in Yoga. Iti, thus, Uchyate is said to be. Tada, at that time. Yada viniyatam chittam atmani eva tistate nispruha sarvakamebhyo yukta iti uchyate tada. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Purport. The activities of the yogi are distinguished from those of an ordinary person by his characteristic cessation from all kinds of material desires, of which sex is the chief. A perfect yogi is so well disciplined in the activities of the mind that he can no longer be disturbed by any kinds of material desire. This perfectional stage can automatically be attained by perfection in Krishna consciousness, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 9:418-20. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vanchasi vaikunta gunanu varnane Karo harer mandira marjanadasu Srutim chakar achyut sat kathodaye Mukund lingalaya darsane drisho Tad vrutya gatra sparse anga sangamam Granam chatat pad saroj saurabhe Srimat tulsya rasanam tad arpite पादौ हरेर क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवंदने कामं च दास्ये न तु काम काम्यया यथोत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रय रति. King Amrish first of all engaged his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then one after another, he engaged his words in describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord, his hands in mopping the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing of the activities of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the transcendental forms of the Lord, his body in touching the bodies of the devotees, his senses of smell in smelling scents of the lotus flower offered to the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaf offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, his legs in going to the places of pilgrimage and the temple of the Lord, his head in offering obeisances unto the Lord, and his desires in executing the mission of the Lord. All these transcendental activities are quite befitting a pure devotee. This transcendental stage may be inexpressible subjectively by the followers of the impersonalist path, but it becomes very easy and practical for a person in Krishna consciousness, as in apparent in the above description of the engagements of Maharaj Amrish. Unless the mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord by constant remembrance, such transcendental engagements are not practical in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, these prescribed activities are called archan, or engaging all the senses in the service of the Lord. The senses and the mind require engagements. Simple abnegation is not practical. Therefore, for people in general, especially those who are not in the renounced order of life, transcendental engagement of the senses and mind, as described above, is a perfect process for transcendental achievement, which is called yukta in the Bhagavad Gita. Yada viniyatam chittam atmaneva avatistate nispruha sarvakamebhyo yukta iti uchyate tada. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. So, yesterday we talked about yoga, how one can practice the yoga called. All yoga culminates in bhakti yoga. In other words, the goal of all yoga is to bring us to the point of bhakti yoga. Very simple. So, in order to execute bhakti yoga, it is stated here that yada viniyatam chittam, the mind, and viniyatam, particularly discipline. So one has to discipline his mind. What is the discipline of mind? That one has to fix his mind with strong determination that all I want to do in this life is to engage my whole existence in another external senses and internal senses into the service of the Lord. So for that we have to viniyatam become discipline. Discipline means we should rise early morning, we should chant our rounds early morning, serve the deity in early morning, and throughout the day around the clock we should discipline ourselves. The whole idea of yoga is to discipline mind, senses, and ultimately the mind must go into samadhi, and that means mind must concentrate on name, form, pastime, qualities, abode of Krishna. This is the yoga. So, yoga can be performed very easily if we engage our propensity in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, we have our likings and dislikes. So whatever way we like, we should engage that like into service of Krishna. Very simple. As for example, we like to eat, then we should cook for the Lord and we should offer it to Lord and then honor ourselves. We like to dance, we should dance. We like to sing, we should sing Hare Krishna mantra and songs left behind by so many acharyas, so many songs, Saranagati, Prarthana, Chandrika, and so many books of songs we can sing. And we like to engage our hand, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo. We like to meditate on something, then we should meditate on the lotus feet of Lord. And Vachasi Vaikunta Gunanivanam. We like to talk, we like to speak. Then we should speak about Krishna, about his devotees, about his qualities, about his abode, dham, about his devotees. We should glorify Vachasi Vaikunt and Karo Harer Mandir Marjanadu. We should clean our temple every day. We should set aside certain time for cleaning the temple, mopping the temple, sweeping the temple. Not just floor, but walls, pots, sinks, bathrooms, altar. Overall cleanup can be organized with the congregation devotees also, like Gundicha, Mandir Marjan, one day a week, Sunday a week. So, like that, Karo Harer Mandir Marjanadish. Shrutim Chakar Achyut Satkathodaya. That we can engage our ears for hearing the transcendental pastimes, Katha, Satkathodaya. The Katha about not only Krishna, but his devotees Katha also, like Prabhupada, Lilamrit, and so many devotees like that. We can hear about Krishna and his devotees, Achyut Kathodaya, and Mukund Lingalaya Darsanedra Show. We should engage our eyes in beholding and having audience and having darshan of beautiful form of deity. Lingalaya means deity. Lingalaya means temple. So we should behold the beautiful form of the Lord in the temple through our eyes. That is the perfection of eyes. Gopi said this is Nitrotsav, Utsav, celebration of Nitra, eyes celebration. So eyes are celebrating with what? Having audience of Krishna and relishing, tasting, becoming absorbed in beholding the transcendental form and beauty of Krishna and his devotees, not just Krishna, Radharani and devotees. So, Mukunda Lingalaya Drashav Tad Vrutya Gatra Sparse Anga Sangamam and Tava Vrutya. Tava means his, Krishna's. Vrutya, Seva. Vrutya means servant, means devotees. So, Tad Vrutya Gatra. Gatra means the limbs. Sparse, to touch, massage, taking dust from the lotus feet. Anga Sangamam, by touching the transcendental body of the devotees, we must engage our touching senses. And Grahanam Chatat Pada Saroj Saurabhe, Grahanam Chatat Pad. We should engage our nostrils, nose, into smelling the ether or the scent, perfume that is offered to Lord. And Tulsi, we should smell Tulsi, take Tulsi. Srimat Tulsiya Rasanam Tad Arpite. The Tulsi leaves that is offered at the lotus feet of Lord, we should taste that. And Pado Hare Kshetra Padanu Sarpane. We should engage our legs in walking the transcendental holy places, especially Vrindavan and Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Dwarika, Mathura. In second canto, third chapter, it is stated that if the legs not used in walking towards temple or in the holy dham, then those legs are no better than Tana, the stem of tree which doesn't walk, it is useless. So if the legs are not walking into the Harikshetra, and Siro Rishikesha Padabi Vandane, and one must use his head for offering the obeisances at the lotus feet of Lord. If one does not use his head in such respect, then his head is no better than burden on the body. It is burden. Kirita Justam. It may be decorated by beautiful helmet, but that head is no better than head of a dead body. Siro Rushikesha Pada Vandane Kamam Chadasya Natu Kama Kamyaya. That one must develop the desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not to serve lust. Kama Kamyaya. Narottam Das Thakur sings Yathottama Sloka Janasraya Rati, and one must take the shelter of devotees who have dedicated his life for Krishna. Prabhupada, his head is offering obeisance of the Lord and his desire in executing the mission of the Lord. Yathottama Sloka Janasraya Rati. One has to take the shelter of Vishnujan. Vishnujan means devotees of the Lord. Uttam Slok Jana. Uttam Slok Jana means Uttam Slok is Krishna, Vishnu. Jana means his devotees. Asraya, take shelter. One must take shelter of devotees of the Lord. In other words, our relatives, our father, mother, children, wife, that kind of love, or even more love than our so-called love for material relatives. We are loving so much. That much love we should give to the devotees. Yathottam sloka jana asraya. We have to take shelter of devotees, and rati, we have to offer our heart, love and devotion to devotees, who is Vishnu Jana, Uttam Slok Jana. This is the real topmost yoga, engaging all the senses in connection, in serving to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the real Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj Yoga means yoga that is very, very easily performed according to our propensities. That's what we should do. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Hare Krishna.